It's the Band Royale.
What's going
on?
Which
Everybody.
translated is the Royal Band.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. So before we talk to the Band Royale, before we eat pizza with the Band Royale, I should say, Car Con Carne, this podcast that's recorded in my Mazda 3, which I really need to clean, and I apologize. You guys are very tolerant. Thank you. This podcast is sponsored by C&H Financial Services. Business owners, are you tired of your hard-earned profits going toward paying expensive fees every time your customer pays with a credit or debit card? We are happy to announce that our partners at C&H Financial Services has the solution. Our partners have. Got to make sure my nouns and verbs agree.
Yep.
Partners have the solution. C&H is the fastest growing financial services company in Illinois as recognized by Inc. magazine. And their patented technology allows you to eliminate 100% of the fees associated with accepting credit and debit cards as a form of payment. That's right. The Band Royale, 100% of the fees. C&H will also upgrade your business to the industry's leading point-of-sale system to streamline every aspect of your business for no cost. That's right, no cost. Visit preprocessingnow.com or call 855-600-2437, extension 999, and start saving money today. The Band Royale, are you hungry?
Yes.
Absolutely, man.
Quite.
It's Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
So I've got you in this window between your day job and practice because you've got a show coming up at Lincoln Hall.
We do indeed.
We're recording this on I don't even know what the day is.
Today is the 13th.
I'm just, ever since the holidays, I don't know what day it is.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
what date it
agree.
is. Okay, so your show is next week at Lincoln Hall. This is the record release. This is or CD or the album release.
Yeah.
Jesus. The album release for the self-titled second full length, which is fantastic and streamable now. Now that I've made that entry point,
All right.
we bust open the pizza. We are outside
Right.
Big G's Pizza on Clark Street, which is just south of Metro. And they're known for their ginormous slices of pizza.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Who's first?
So I've got
anything.
two pepperoni,
One
a
guy,
cheese,
somebody.
and a macaroni and cheese.
Oh, yeah. That looks fantastic.
I'll take the cheese if you guys want pepperoni.
Yeah, I figured.
Beware, there is grease just rolling off of these.
Well, that's why you fold them.
Ah.
This way over here.
Because I grabbed it, I didn't even bother grabbing it your way. You just grab it like
I
this.
didn't give anybody plates. Is that necessary?
Give them some plates.
Yeah.
They're going to be wearing that home.
All right.
Owner of the vehicles, yeah, give
All
him
right,
some plates.
grab 'em.
Got
There's
it.
some Starbucks napkins.
Got it.
Always
Got
have
it.
those.
Good.
You have yours? Okay. You have yours.
My car always has a steady supply of Starbucks napkins and diaper wipes. Just never know.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk as we eat. Look at this thing. Look at this monster.
Oh, this is good. Big G's.
This is
Big G.
Is this kind of this is just a personal kind of a hot take, but I know we're in Chicago and I've lived here for a very long time. I prefer this.
You prefer thin?
I prefer
Or like
thin,
the big, like
huge,
New York
Yeah,
like
yeah.
thin. It's just I like
Big and
I like
thin.
a big stuffed pie. It's just it's like a special occasion thing. This is what I want more often.
Well, that is true, and there's a meme going around like this week about that very thing. Like, the media doesn't want you to know about how Chicagoans truly eat pizza, and we like the party cut.
Party Cut.
Tavern style.
Party Cut probably is the actual signature. I think what most
Yeah.
people.
I mean, how charming is a square piece of pizza?
It's,
Just give me a square.
It is charming. It's like the Baby Yoda
Yeah.
pizza, really.
I'll eat
That's a good
a
reference.
bunch of squares.
Try to be topical, the Band Royale. Give me a quick roll call. You're all
I'm-
brothers.
We're all brothers.
We are.
I am Joel. I'm the oldest.
I'm Zach. I am the youngest.
I'm Nate, and I'm the middle.
There we go. In order.
And
Perfect.
you guys
Yep.
just were on the road with Chevelle toward the end of last year.
We were.
Do they have a
Yep.
rule that they can only take out bands of brothers? As
You
they
know,
tour?
it was funny. We got that a lot. Because even with Dean being in the group, Dean's still a brother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
So it went from a band of brothers to a band of brothers, and then they went on the road with a band of
The Band of
brothers.
yeah.
And it was definitely a talking point a lot of the tour.
Had you
yeah.
known those guys, or was this a...
They invited us to play with them 2018, 2017, December, about 2 years ago almost exactly.
Yep.
They invited us out for a string of shows. We We just didn't have the available. I had just got married actually and was on my honeymoon, so we did a show with them at House of Blues in Chicago, and just stayed in touch ever since.
They're good dudes, and they're super talented.
Oh,
Yeah, and
Awesome
you
guys.
know, Sam immediately smiled. Tell James I said hi.
Yeah.
So there you go. Sam says hi.
Well, hello, Sam. Hello, Chevelle. I mean, we're waiting for another Chevelle solo show. Like Lollapalooza to me doesn't count. They did the show out in Tinley. Like
Yeah.
we need. Like it'd be great if you actually open up for
Hey,
Chevelle and
I
a
like the sound of that.
Yeah.
It sounds
too.
great.
like a proper clubber, maybe like
Dude, Riviera. That'd be a good one.
River, Aragon,
be
either.
great.
Yeah.
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 Just like a full-on rock show. Mm-hmm. Give them like 90 minutes.
They played an hour and a half.
Yeah, they
really-
were doing that.
Yeah.
We
It's
were
a good
kind of
set.
lucky. We had really good seats and got to see them play for an hour and a half, like 16
Yeah.
times, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, they got it down.
Yep.
So let's do a little Band Royale history. Did you start the band in Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we played together, but we didn't have a band. We didn't have a name. We didn't have songs really written
Yep.
in earnest. We kind of started this once we were here in Chicago. And we were like, oh, we're all in the same place. Why don't we like actually give this the old college try?
No, this was when, like 7 years ago?
Yeah, 2012.
I'd say, no, I was in Los Angeles in 2000.
So 2011.
Because you were part of it before, and then you went to LA, and you came back, and then I had to move here from Denver in 2014.
Yeah.
So I actually joined the band kind of late, in the starting the band process.
All right, so you started the band, put out one album, there were singles, and here we are. Tell me about this new album, the self-titled album. Now, generally, when a band does a self-titled album or gives it that name, it's supposed to be like this emblematic representation of the band. This is who we are. We are the Band Royale. This is it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fair way to say it. Well, one, like we solidified our name as the Band Royale in
As opposed to
between
Royale.
as Royale on the 1st record, and then again it was the whole
There's trademark issues.
yeah that type of thing. And then once we decided, well, that's what it is. What are we going to call this thing? Do we give it a title, or because it's just like we own the name, we own the trademark, it is what it is. And then this is kind of like just the way. I mean, there's a lot of very different sounding things in the record, but that's the way we like to do it on purpose.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of that way on design. It's self-titled because it's kind of the way that we like to operate and the way that we probably will operate, where it's like you get kind of lots of different flavors and it's still the Band Royale, but each song we kind of want to be its own little kind of digestible thing if you just want to grab a handful of songs and keep those,
Well, if you're looking for a gateway drug to the new album, I played this song last night on my radio show, Demo 312 on 101 WKQX. Loose Lips Sink Ships. Big, muscular riffs, almost like Queen-style guitars going on
That's
there.
what I think of immediately.
Yeah, I
Yeah?
hear that. a
Yeah.
bunch.
Oh, yeah. Always.
There's like this like Thin Lizzy breakdown too. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, hints of stuff that we all like, but completely modernized.
That's kind of what our band is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a
Reformed
good
dad
guitar
band.
band.
So that's what I love is guitars. I am obsessed with just riffs and layers and duplicating and harmonizing. I know I play the drums, but I mainly get excited about the guitar riffs.
I love it. Well, this is a band to get excited about. Yacht metal. You've probably talked this to death. I'm sure you've been asked about this to death. You're a self-described yacht metal artist.
Yeah, it's just an inside joke that's kind of
Still funny.
it's good. It's again, yacht rock is
I'm
I don't
dressed for yacht rock
yeah,
right now.
Just
I'm
I
ready
don't
to-
think there's
I'm ready
anything
to Christopher Cross the shit out of tonight.
Exactly. For me, like I love that's like some of my favorite shit on the planet. I just enjoy like the production of records from like just really the decade of the 70s. I think they're the best sounding records ever made. Specifically, kind of like the Steely Dan, Christopher
Oh, yeah.
Cross, Hall & Oates. Like the production matches how good the songs are, and it's just it is cheesy on a certain level, but I think it's incredibly also like impressive. And then the thought was like take that type of slickness and then just add some gain.
Just rock.
So yacht
Well,
metal.
there was no other. We were the only yacht metal band in the world.
You got to have a niche. You got to have.
So
something
no,
you can
but
own.
like that when we explored that, there wasn't even a single there wasn't a single hashtagged Instagram photo yet. It was just wide open. So this,
Oh yeah, take it and run with it.
self-dubbed
Absolutely.
world's only. Yep. Clemson just scored.
Oh, cool.
Now, of course,
Game
if you're
from
listening to the
inside.
podcast, this is all in the past.
This.
Yep.
Yeah.
But your show is still in the future.
This is true.
Yep.
At Lincoln Hall, which is very exciting. So the Chicago Tribune 4 years ago said, "Can a band be too good?"
Yeah, oh God.
Talk about
We didn't really know where that came from, dude.
I don't even remember like what interview or what that even was. Where it
I
came
just,
from.
and God bless her, it was kind of flattering, but it was also kind of cringeworthy.
Wasn't that the one where she came into the Chicago Music Exchange and interviewed us in the basement?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's high praise, but just went for it with that one. Can a band be too good?
Yeah, it's kind of loaded.
It's what
it's very
she
loaded.
wrote verbatim.
Uh-huh.
These prospects come to mind when considering Royale.
Nate's read this a few times.
Yeah, for sure.
apparently.
Had time to really digest and think about it. So, as your band goes, as media goes, you only do interviews in swanky places, basements, cars,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
parked by Wrigley Field.
Only the
Mazdas.
nicest
Mazdas.
specifically.
Yep,
Surprisingly roomy for a Mazda 3. Oh, yeah.
not bad.
Yeah, Yes Factory played live in here last week.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
That was weird. There were actually 3 people in the back seat, if you can imagine. that.
I saw the
I
picture
can't
and couldn't
imagine that
I
at
couldn't
all.
imagine
It's
it.
amazing.
There was a guitar. I forgot what kind of percussion instrument there was, and wind chimes in the back seat.
Wow.
That was the first. I always like when an instrument is, a new addition to the
There was
Darkman Turning.
0.0% chance we were going to play any instrument in your car tonight.
That was made clear.
Yeah. Nah. Come to the show if you want to see music.
This is a band best plugged in.
Yeah.
With some space to move around. All right, so the new album is self-titled. Another song I like, I think I'm probably going to play this on Sunday, is Dreamer. Has almost like a hypnotic, methodical momentum to it.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I would agree with that for sure.
Tell me about that song. It's hard with the podcast because people can't hear the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'll
what
let
I
Joel
wanna do is
take it.
encourage
But I
people
have.
to-
I interpret Joel's songs and I go to sounds that are similar to me, and I go and I research the drums that remind me of the song that Joel's playing, and I use that as my inspiration. So I know exactly where my inspiration came from.
Yeah, it's a very fuzzy riff reminiscent of other Chicago bands in the early '90s and type of fuzzy riffs.
I wasn't
going
going
to
to point that one band out.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's pretty obvious, but it's just a good sound. Again, it's kind of like it does sound like us doing like a Siamese Dream
Yep.
outtake. That's the point.
Didn't want to say. I hate
Well,
saying
we-
No, that's,
so,
that's kind of the whole point.
James,
of it,
and-
though.
Yeah, that's cool.
We talked about it a little bit, and then we just realized like there's no shame in wanting to play like your influences or liking that sound.
No,
And
yeah.
just because that sound existed once doesn't mean you can't do it again.
There's a lot of distorted guitar riffs on the planet.
Yeah.
They've all been done,
Yeah.
But that one just kind of, as opposed to some of the other heavier stuff on the record, it's like a mellower, fuzzier guitar tone as opposed to like a heavier, thicker overdrive.
heavy,
So
grittier.
it just has a different feel, and the drums have like kind of like an ease to them. And like you said, it's got a groove. It's got this cyclical riff that kind of just cycles in and out and doesn't quit. Yeah, it's got.
And the two guitars kind of circle around each other. It's fun.
Well, and I feel like I should say this because you got to plug or give props where it's due, but I've been really Jimmy Chamberlain's been super hands on with me for the last 5 or 6 years. So a lot of this stuff,
Wait, what does that mean?
I'll ask him permission. Can I use this fill from this song? And he'll be like, yeah, dude, of course. And then like some of his snare drums and the cymbals, I've gotten set up now, and even
Chamberlain's the coolest dude on earth.
that's why I should. Hey, thanks, man. You've helped me a ton over the last 6 years. And this record, my approach to how I recorded and the parts I played, he was very, very involved in my grooming process and how to do it.
Awesome. All right, so let's talk more about grooves. Under Control. I like the bass groove on that one.
Yeah.
That's another great song on the album. Talk to me about that song.
That's one that I had written and I had made like kind of like a demo recording of, and like the bones were there, and we just always liked the song, and we played it live. We just wanted to like really like do it right and give it like a full fleshed out version. But like that bass it's very much like it's kind of it's like that, like kind of like early 80s like post-punk kind of like walking bass line thing with like cool like again 80s chorused out guitars, flitting around on top of it.
As you're describing your music,
Some U2 delays.
I'm reminded why I like your band. Like you're reinforcing everything I believe to be true about your band.
It's listen, like that's how I talk about, especially when we're trying to record things. If I want to get things across to like the engineer who we're working with, Noam over at Rax Tracks, who's incredibly talented. I talk visually, like riffs and things have sounds, and I'll just describe them in a visual way, and usually it gets it across. And he's like, "Oh, I know what you mean. It's like this type of reverb or this type of thing," or it's like, "I want there to be a bedrock of this with some like pretty thing floating around," and like that's kind of how I describe it, and then it kind of comes across that way. Hopefully, it comes across that way when you hear the stuff.
Well, Under Control is fun because we kind of deconstructed it. Zach did all the guitar solos on that one.
Yeah, I did do that one.
So, and then I was really going for some Stuart Copeland sort of stuff on the ride and the fills,
Nice.
for sure.
All right, so Lincoln Hall, again, the date of the show?
January 22nd.
It's a Wednesday. I know it sucks, but, you know.
Wednesday night's not bad for a rock show.
Wednesday
I
night, people are ready to get out and do
I hope
something.
so.
Yeah,
Wednesday's my
Wednesday night's
Saturday.
the
I love
first
it.
night of the weekend. If you want to get aggressive about it, that's the first night you can. Like Tuesday night's a little much.
Yeah.
Tuesdays are the worst days of the week.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
No, I think everybody's got to agree. Tuesday's the worst. Everything seems so far away. You know.
Right, like Monday,
Oh,
you
yeah.
kind of have that shock of adrenaline, like, okay, here we go, new week.
Yup.
Like, you're kind of in it. Then Tuesday, it's like, oh my God, we're still days away. This is awful.
Wednesday,
Yeah.
hump day. You
Wednesday,
feel like you're on the other side of
You
it.
can catch a buzz on Wednesday.
And Lincoln Hall, such a great room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good food,
It's,
too.
honestly, it's it's going to be a great show. It's because it's going to be great. But as a band playing there, Lincoln Hall's like, it's like a pleasure. It sounds so good. It sounds like you're playing in a studio. I mean,
Oh,
it's-
man. Our front of the house engineer at Lincoln Hall, we've got a guy named Chris Jellin who's done all of our major shows. He's done front of the house. So he's fantastic. And these shows you record. So there'll be a live album as well. 'Cause,
Awesome.
we get mixed and mastered by our engineer that masters everything that we put out.
Yep.
All right, so we can see you then. The album is streamable wherever. Do you guys ever get sick of each other? I mean, are you cool forging ahead?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
pretty good, man.
I'm pretty much try to stick just to these guys every other day or every day. We make friends well, but like, just none of my friends are cooler than either of them. So I just kind of focus more on them, and then
Love
your
that.
gravity pulls people in.
I
So
love it. All right, how was the pizza, by the way?
disappeared.
It was
Yeah,
awesome.
you guys crushed
Crushed
the pizza.
it. Crushed the pizza,
Well,
I'm
dude.
definitely.
Yeah, I haven't eaten since like about 1 p.m. and this is right around when I do, so it's perfect. Thank you for that. By the way, it's gonna make
Yeah,
much,
so it's
much
very
less
generous.
hangry practice.
Yeah.
I know, you
Yeah.
don't
Which
wanna
that's a
know.
real thing that we learned about on this
I'm
tour
sure, yeah.
was
Hangry
our,
is what-
like the
is what-
hangriness. A bunch of boys who were starting to get ornery as a group are getting testy, and like all of a sudden, okay, now we need to get dinner. Everyone's endorphins are firing. Everyone's happy to be related again.
It's like a switch got.
Yeah.
just
Oh,
like
yeah.
fascinating.
You get hangry, all the dumb arguments start, and then the second you eat food, it all just literally
gone.
melts away. It's gone.
Food is wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, the Band Royale, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Thank
for listening. Thank you for watching. Car Con Carne is sponsored this week by C&H Financial Services. I'm going to make this go away, so we're going to wave.